Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be all about products that I'm actually glad that I skipped out on. It's kind of like an anti-haul, but I kind of tried to make it not like super soon new releases, like things that have been out for like maybe a month or so, things that have kind of had time to kind of circulate, get some reviews out there, hear some other people's thoughts, and I just want to come back on and kind of say why I didn't enjoy these. If you guys like anti-hauls, you should follow me on Instagram because I do an anti-haul series on my story every single week. I share the things that I'm not buying, then I ask you for your suggestions and I pop them back up on my story and we get to chit chat about them, and it's a really fun time. So definitely follow me on Instagram, it's always linked down below. But I did want to give a quick little shout out to give credit where credit is due for this video idea. I have seen Eyes of Alexandria do this video, and I've also seen Kelly Gooch do this video. I'm not sure who came up with the idea. If in one of their videos they mentioned who was the originator of this kind of video idea, I will definitely link it down below, but their videos will definitely be linked down below. So without further ado, let's hop into the products that I'm actually glad that I skipped out on. So I'm going to start by scooching over a little bit so I can insert my pictures right here. So the first palette that it hurts my heart to say that I'm glad that I didn't pick this one up because I think it is so stunning. And those tones are they're my tones. But it is the ColourPop Main Squeeze palette. While this palette is so gorgeous and I know that I would love it if I had it, I know I have these tones, and the more that I look at it, the more I think, you know what, I would be creating like virtually the same look every time I use this palette, so probably not a good investment, not something good to add to my collection, but I still think it's beautiful. But I am glad that I didn't just like impulse buy it because I have a feeling if I bought it I would regret it. The next item is kind of like an duh item, but it is the Jaclyn Hill lipsticks. There is so much drama concerning these lipsticks, and I don't know. I was excited with Jaclyn when she kind of did her announcement video. The shades looked really gorgeous. I could tell that she put a lot of hard work into these lipsticks, but there's just so much confusion, misinformation surrounding these lipsticks, and I know that she said that she sent the lipsticks out to several labs I believe, to have them tested for mold and anything else like that, and I don't believe she's gotten the results back yet. So yeah, I'm just very glad that I didn't even waste my money on that. I know everyone's gotten a refund whether they returned it or not, but the whole situation just kind of makes me want to inspect all of my lip products and every other makeup item I have in my collection and make sure it's not moldy or gross or anything like that. So very glad that I skipped out on those. Also, while I like the idea of a nude range and I feel like it's very on brand for Jaclyn Hill, I have a hard time spending that much money on lip products, especially something as common as a nude when you can find it at the drugstore for less than 10 bucks. Next on my list is the Jeffree Star Gloss, kind of along the same lines as the Jaclyn Hill lipsticks, not so much all the like ingredient issues and potentially moldiness, but I just feel like I don't want to spend more than $10 on a gloss. Maybe that makes me cheap. I feel like there are certain items of makeup that I'm very cheap about. Lip products is definitely one of them because ColourPop has so many amazing color options, and the drugstore just in general has really good options at a very affordable price point. Also mascara, because mascara I go through really quickly. Foundation, I feel like the only thing I don't have a problem spending money on is eyeshadow, which is it's not good at all. But yeah, I just feel like they're kind of overpriced. The shades aren't that unique. The only one that I got a lot of you kind of DMing me about saying, oh, I feel like this one's really unique, this is the only one I really spend the money on, was the black shade, which I agree that is very unique. It just doesn't really fit with my personal makeup style, so I skipped on that one as well. So the next palette that I'm glad that I skipped on is the Morphe 35S. I was a little bit but drawn to this palette when it first launched. I thought it was really gorgeous. I still think it's really gorgeous. And I was like, oh, I don't have that many purples in my collection. This would be a great way to add some purples to my collection. But I feel like it's been out for at least a month at this point, and honestly, I didn't even remember it until I looked at this list before I started filming, since I made this list a couple days ago. It's a very pretty palette. I don't know, it's not me. It has a lot of cool tones in it, which I'm not a cool tone gal. You guys know me. I mean, look at my eyes today. Warm tones galore, warm tones on the lips, warm tones on the cheeks. I went for a bronzy look today. But yeah, it's not my taste. I like the idea of a purple palette, but I honestly wish they would have come out with like a little 12 pan purple palette. The only thing that I'm still slightly curious about is those big shades in the middle, because I've heard that those are a different texture than has been previously put in Morphe palettes, so I'm kind of interested to swatch those. I don't know if that palette is coming to Ulta Beauty, but there is a Morphe store in Michigan, which is where I live. It's like 2.5 hours away. But I think I'm going to be going to that general area in the next month or so maybe I'll have to swing by, give it a little swatch, and kind of see what I think about it when I see it in person, but I probably still won't buy it. I'm just curious about the texture. Oh, another reason I'm not buying it is because after I bought the Jaclyn Hill palette, I was so disappointed in the Morphe formula that followed. I feel like the Jaclyn Hill formula is absolutely beautiful. Still one of my favorite palettes. It's really, really easy to use. The mattes are very pigmented. They blend very well. The shimmers are metallic. They go on really nicely. But then a couple months later, I picked up the Morphe Boss Mood palette, and the formula just did not compare. The shadows are much, much thinner. They're less richly pigmented. And honestly, I just didn't want to be disappointed by Morphe shadows again when there are other shadows like ColourPop and BH Cosmetics on the market for a similar price point that are just so much better. So yeah, just skipping that one altogether. Another palette that caught my eye was the Viseart Rose Edit. I have been hearing Emily Noel 83 rave about the Viseart formula for years and years and years, but I feel like their color stories are a little bit boring, honestly. I feel like they are a makeup artist brand, not necessarily a makeup consumer brand, which I understand. But at first I was really attracted to these palettes because I'm pretty sure they're relatively affordable for Viseart. I can't remember the price off the top of my head. But I thought this one looked really, really pretty. But once I started like really breaking the palette down, there are only 2 pops of color in this palette that really inspire me, so I cannot buy a palette for 2 pops of color. That's ridiculous. Pretty sure I have similar shades in my collection. I just liked them with that grouping of colors. Next one I am glad that I skipped are the Fenty Vivid liner sets. So Fenty Beauty came out with, I believe, 3 different sets of these really, really gorgeous, bright, super colorful neon liners. And you guys, I swooned when I saw these. I think colorful liner is such a fun way to incorporate color into any look. It's really easy. I feel like it's more wearable than maybe doing like a full-on blue smoky eye, just doing kind of a blue liner or a green liner or whatever. And I have been wanting to try it more from Fenty Beauty. I just feel like it's a really, not hot brand, but I feel like it's a brand that's coming out with cool products. But I'm glad that I skipped those because actually I believe when those came out I was waiting for the ColourPop Cream Gel liners to go on sale, and they did, and I bought the whole set. This is of course just one of them, but this is the bright green shade. It's called Teaspoon, I believe. But I don't have the entire set because I split it with my cousin, but I do have quite a few of the colors in the set, and I feel like between those I can mix and match and create pretty much any color that I would need. Also, I think, while I haven't tried the Fenty liners, I think that I prefer the ColourPop formula a little bit more because I have watched several reviews and seen people talking about them on social media, saying that they do crack pretty badly, even if before you layer them up, and some of them do need to be layered. So formula-wise, I'm glad I stuck with the ColourPop one. So the final product that I want to talk about today that I am glad that I skipped out on is another eyeshadow palette. I'm sorry, you guys know I'm just an eyeshadow palette junkie. It's what I talk about most on my anti-hauls. It's what I talk about most in my dupe videos. But it is the ABH and Alyssa Edwards palette. So honestly, I wasn't super thrilled by this one when I first saw it anyways. But I started seeing some looks. I'm like, well, it's really pretty. Maybe if it goes on sale. But then earlier today I saw a post. I can't remember who did it. I feel like it was Dupe That. If it wasn't, I will put their name down below or put it on the screen or something. I'll insert the picture right here. But it was a comparison of the Alyssa Edwards palette and the ABH Riviera palette, and they were so crazy similar, you guys. Like, even the pops of color that were a little bit different, I feel like I have those in my collection. I was actually able to dupe the ABH Riviera palette pretty darn closely with shadows I already owned. I did a whole video on it. I can link it down below if you guys are interested and you're craving a dupe, if you're on a low buy or no buy, but that palette has just been calling your name. But yeah, I'm very glad that I skipped out on this one. I just feel like this palette doesn't really make sense to me. I was tempted because of the looks that I saw people were creating, but I feel like in practice, this is just not a palette for me. So for that reason, I'm very glad I skipped out on it. And that's actually my last pick of this video. What is a new release that you guys are really glad that you skipped out on, based on reviews, based on just you kind of realizing that doesn't fit your makeup taste? Let me know down below. I would absolutely love to know. If you guys are new here, hi, my name is Sydney. Welcome to my channel. I film beauty videos 3 days a week, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. And that's gonna wrap this one up. So thank you all so much for taking time in your day to just kind of hang out with me and talk about makeup. It means the world to me, and I have so much fun on this platform just hanging out with you guys. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!